It is never we are separated, but we feel we are separated, and that's a great ignorance. And the idea of separation comes from ignorance, which according to the Indian old school, they say this is the basic ignorance. We are never separated, it is impossible to separate, but we feel we are separated. That's why it's called ignorance. Ignorance is what it is not. There is only one, which is the real. The real is one and no two. And but you see and feel you are separate. And it comes out of ignorance. And this ignorance, according to the karmic ideas, is called the basic ignorance, which that they use a term called Anava Malam, the cause for atomic formation. So it is there in nature, because the origin of nature happened through this ignorance. And there is an idea that the nature evolved from knowledge. No, it evolved from ignorance. Because when it starts to feel that it is not one, it is two, something starts to happen. And that process continued to re-establish the oneness, or to move from ignorance to knowledge. And so whatever we see as manifestation is a process to move from ignorance to knowledge. So that is why, because we are not really reached the knowledge, we feel we are separate. And so we want to separate, we feel we are separated. When you are in union, you feel to separate. These two traits are there in all animals, in human beings also. When you are one together with somebody or something, after some time you lose interest. You want to separate. So it's a basic instinct, because it is there in the very nature of the nature. It's a big theory. If I ask a question, what is there before the beginning? To the minds who are around me, the mind can only answer, there is nothing before the beginning. There should be nothing. If it is nothing, how can something come out of this nothing? We see things are coming out from other things. We never see things coming out from emptiness. So if it was empty before the beginning, how can something came into being? In this emptiness, everything was hidden in an unexpressed way. It is there, it was there. And something happened in the awareness, in the base, at the base. So I have to put it in a different way. If I ask the question, what was there before the beginning, you come to the conclusion that there is nothing. This emptiness which you experience is everywhere. And this emptiness, as permeating everywhere, it cannot be considered as emptiness. It is everywhere. Emptiness everywhere means emptiness in full. So this emptiness is not emptiness, it is a fullness actually. It is word game. It's a word play. And so from fullness anything can come into being. We cannot imagine how from emptiness something can come into being, but we can certainly conceive the idea that something can come out of something. So if it is full, something could come out from the fullness. So in the fullness, there was the base, the what you call the witness, which is known as the consciousness, and the awareness. Awareness is the process for knowing. So in the fullness there is emptiness, which is the witness, and there is the process of knowing what it is. And they were not separated, it was one, full and complete. Something has happened, nobody knows what has happened. The awareness part, which is the program for knowing, triggered, and it wants to know what it is. Awareness always wants to know. So the awareness started to know what it is. And when it wanted to know, it understood what it is, awareness. And it starts to feel it is separate from the consciousness. But it is not. It is a feeling that generated by the question, which is put forward by the awareness, created the answer in the awareness that it is separate from the consciousness. This is the first separation. And that separation is continuing. That's why always this idea working out in everything. A seed is coming from a tree, it separates from the tree. It falls on the ground and the tree is coming. Then a seed, it separates. So always you see the two ideas in nature, which is one is separation and the other is union. When you are separated, when you get the idea of separation and you feel you are separated, you are pushed by the other idea of union. Union and separation are two principles which is there in everything, whatever we see. So this is working in the human awareness also. When we are feeling that we are separate, we want to be together. We want to establish oneness. When we are in the state of temporary oneness, we feel to separate. And so this is a basic instinct which is at the very base of creation, and that instinct is still continuing. As a result of this process, things are coming up in nature. So it is in the very nature of human being, the idea of separation and union. And these are the two basic principles which holds good, keeping the existence on. That's why when we are together, we want to separate. When we are separated, we want to be together. And it creates the whole drama. You look at the normal drama and film, what is so striking, and all the stories are dealing with these two principles, union, separation. There is no other story in this world. All dramas are based on union and separation. All films are based on the story of union, separation. You make climaxes when separation is happening. And you create great scenes when you want to be together. This is the story. This is the story of nature. And this feeling comes out of ignorance. Ignorance is the false notion that you are separated from the rest of existence. You can never separate yourself from the rest of existence. You are the nature, part and parcel of the whole. Until we fully realize that you are full and complete, this idea of separation continues.